The PPP warrant list is real.
Arrest warrants are dropping, and a lot of shit is hitting the fan. Criminal investigations look to be over, and now they're arresting people who have committed fraud against the government. Yeah, remember back in 2020 we had the PPP loans to help small businesses, to save them during the pandemic?
What is up, you guys? Welcome back to Tasty with the T. And today I want to talk about these PPP loans, honey, because they are getting everybody for these PPP loans. If you were one of those ones that were a victim, no, you weren't a victim. You thought you was getting over, but you didn't. Let's talk about it. So the PPP loan was supposed to be one of those type of things to help real businesses survive during the pandemic. But apparently some people thought that it was a free pass to become a professional liar.
You have been promoted. You are now one of my elite employees. You missed some trash over there, honey.
Spoiler alert, you probably shouldn't have gotten that loan if your business was just selling snacks out of your mama's garage. Like, come on, man. Like, if your business didn't exist before the pandemic, then what exactly were you protecting, really? Or, like, you know, who were you paying? You know, what employees were you paying? What were you selling? A dream? Okay, some of y'all were out here getting that PPP loan, taking trips, getting that BBL, eating that last slice of pizza at the party. But I gotta ask, was that slice yours to take? Now, for those of you who might not be totally familiar, here is the scoop. The PPP loan was a government program designed to help small businesses keep their employees on payroll. It was meant to serve as a lifeline for legitimate businesses that were hit hard by all of the lockdowns and restrictions due to the COVID-19 pandemic, right? But as we all know, some people thought, hey, why not scam the system? It's just free money, right?
I didn't think that it was real at first because it's been about 3 years since I did mine. And man, I'm gonna take my lick because at the end of the day, I knew what I was doing when I did it. I knew that it was a possibility that, you know, everything could go sideways. I see a lot of comments, people got negative shit to say. They want to say, oh, you committed fraud, you knew what you was doing whenever you did it. And I get that, I get it, it's all good. But at the end of the day, man, you know, every time somebody going through a negative situation in their life, y'all want to add negativity to the negative situation as if it's not already negative enough. Most people don't understand, you know, when we was doing our thing, man, shit, it's hard out here. A lot of people don't understand, man. You know, I'm already a convicted felon. You know, I did damn near 8 years, 7 years and 9 months to be exact. And shit hard. And so, I'm going to just take my lick on the chin, man.
So, if you didn't actually have a business, like no employees, no customers, no website, not even a Google search result, okay, you still applied for the loan. Maybe you should ask yourself some tough questions, okay? You know, do you even own a business? Or is this just an entrepreneur vibe you've been feeling lately? Now, I ain't no snitch, but I do know a couple people in my hometown that got that PPP loan and, you know, took a couple trips out of the country and got that BBL and that tummy tuck, and now they looking like Big Bird.
The 90 man is now in federal custody after being indicted for submitting a fake PPP loan application. Police say 32-year-old Kelton McLaren applied for COVID relief, this loan, in May of 2021. He claimed that his business, which was named after him, was established in 2019 and had a gross income of $100,000 a year for that year. Police say McLaren was claiming that he was running the business during the same time frame. He was either behind bars or living at a halfway house. Now, we're told he received almost $21,000 from the Paycheck Protection Program and used that money for things like DoorDash, Facebook purchases, even hotels. Then last April, McLaren applied for loan forgiveness so he didn't have to pay back the PPP loan, claiming that he had 20 employees and spent the money on payroll. McLaren is charged with...
You told them that you had a business. Look, I get it. Sometimes You see a loophole in something and you think that you can just squeeze through it. But just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do it. Okay? It's like speeding through a red light just because no one's around. Sure, you can do it. But when the police car shows up, you're gonna be real sad. And y'all, the government is not gonna forget about this. Okay? These PPP loans are getting audited like crazy.
17 members of the Broward Sheriff's Office, which include both BSO deputies and detention deputies, released from the federal courthouse in Fort Lauderdale after being indicted on charges that include wire fraud after federal investigators said they fraudulently applied for and received funds from the Paycheck Protection Program, or PPP loans.
Bonds were set. They're being released. Nobody, as far as I know, is being detained. And we'll take it from there. We'll be back in court.
Of the 17 indicted, 7 BSO deputies and 1 sergeant in law enforcement, and 8 detention deputies and 1 sergeant in corrections.
I hate to see that, knowing some of the individuals and seeing the names on that list that's being indicted, some of them were good officers. But you're only as good as the last act and conduct that you execute.
And, I get it. People do have, side hustles and things like that. If your business was actually a legitimate business, then fine. Cool. By all means, apply for the loan. You definitely should have applied for that damn loan. It was a way for people to survive the craziness of 2020, right? Because we were going through so much. Everybody was going through it. The pandemic hit. Everybody was going through it. I don't care who it was. You could say you could say that you're well off and doing this and doing that, but even the rich people were going through it. Okay. But if your business was fake, or at best just a side hustle that you really just wanted it to take off and you wanted to just get the supplies and you would flip the money and blah blah blah. Well, where is that money now? Hopefully you did something good with that money. You shouldn't have been filling out those forms if you didn't have a legitimate business.
Tuesday afternoon, we went to a home in Cyprus that court documents state 37-year-old LaDonna Wiggins purchased using money she received from the CARES Act. The document says Wiggins received about $3.7 million after submitting 2 PPP loan applications for businesses known as Wiggins and Graham's Enterprises, LLC, and Pink Lady Line. The document states she used the funds to make lavish personal purchases, this home allegedly being one of them.
Hi, looking for LaDonna Wiggins? She's not here. She's not here?
When someone finally came to the door, I asked this woman about the allegations that Wiggins supposedly purchased 2 homes using federal funds meant for business use.
This house and apparently a house for her mom. Is that you?
No.
You're not her mother?
No.
The court documents go on to mention just how much money she spent and on what. Here's just a few listed in detail in these court documents. Over $78,000 on a 2020 Land Rover, over $25,000 at Saks Fifth Avenue, over $12,000 at Hermes, over $64,000 at Chanel, and $204,000 for a business in Houston, nearly $700,000 for a home in Cyprus, and over $248,000 for a home in Katy.
Is there a time that she will be coming home?
Actually, she hasn't called me today, so I'm not sure when she's coming back.
And how are you related to her?
That isn't.
We never got a straight answer from the person who opened the door. We did see her moments later get in an SUV and leave. Wiggins has been charged with bank fraud, making a false statement to a bank, and money laundering. She faces up to 30 years in federal prison.
It's not going to be long before those free checks turn into, oh no, checks from the IRS, because they're going to be knocking at your door and you're going to have your kids sitting in the living room, and while they're knocking on the door, you're going to come to the door and you're going to be so surprised that they're taking your ass to jail for fraud. It's not the kind of thing that you want to see happen. I really hope that you got that loan forgiveness. Because if you didn't and you just frauded the system, you didn't have a real business. I've seen some businesses that have gotten caught up in this, right? They weren't even legitimate businesses. They got caught up into this whole thing, this whole PPP loan thing. And I thank God that I did not apply for no dang on PPP loan. You know, I was kind of mad at first that I didn't get a PPP loan, but now I am so happy that I did not get that damn PPP loan. I'm so happy. And I have a legitimate business. But I was like, you know what? They're giving out all this money. I'm seeing everybody flashing their money and they, doing this and doing that. But man, now they have to pay the piper. Like, it's coming back to bite them in the ass, y'all.
I gotta report identity theft for a motherfucking PPP loan. I've never had a PPP loan. I was wishing I would have got the PPP loan. And then once I seen what everybody was going through, I was glad I wasn't no goddamn fool to go and do it. Somebody done put a PPP loan in my name. I got papers in the mail telling me I got court dates and shit coming up. And I made phone calls. I done reached out like, this not me. This is fraud. What do I supposed to do? They telling me file reports through the FTC, through the police departments, SBA declaration of identity theft, and they telling me to just file different reports through so many people, y'all. I gotta go through so much. I've never been through identity theft. I've heard about it, and now I see how fucking difficult your life can fucking flip upside down due to identity theft. Be careful out here, y'all. Be careful. PPP loan. Check the sites. Check whatever you gotta check. If I got one in my motherfucking name due to fraud, y'all might too.
And some of the names that I saw for businesses were not legitimate businesses. Like, you could tell that they weren't real. But this woman actually found out that somebody took out a PPP loan in her name. Now, if that ain't scamming, I don't know what is. I personally would be devastated if something like that was to happen to me. Like, if I was to get that, that call, like, hey, I saw your name on the PPP loan fraud list or whatever, or on the PPP warrant list, I would be highly pissed the fuck off, really. Because, for somebody to, say that they wanted to actually get a PPP loan and then they didn't go get it, but then they come back and they find out that somebody actually took out one in their name, is crazy work. But, they can actually trace back and see, where the loan was placed, as far as, banking goes. I'm pretty sure that they can see, okay, the money was transferred to this account, which is linked to this person. Hopefully they can get that figured out. It's going to be quite sad, to see. But at the same time, it's like, y'all, some people are real victims. Like this woman, she was a real victim because somebody actually took out a PPP loan in her name. But yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And turn on that notification bell so that you know when I post a video. And until next time, I will catch you in the next one.